Hello everyone. I hope I am audible, loud and clear, and you people can hear me clearly. Just give me a shout out if you all are present. How many of you are joining us today? Sony, Valmani, good afternoon, Sony. Yes, so we have Sony with us. Good afternoon, Anadu Vishwanath. Hi, Anadu. How are you doing? Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good to see you people back to the class. And we hope to have yet another very interesting discussion today. Yogita Vaidya. Hi Yogita, how are you? Welcome to this session, Yogita, Anadu, Soni. So the students are joining gradually and slowly, so we can also kickstart the proceedings slowly but steadily. CMAT is around the corner. It is just a matter of couple of days. So and Holi is coming up next week. So wish you all a very happy Holi in advance from the entire family of BYJU'S Exam Prep. I am Pradip Sengupta, your VARC mentor, and today we are going to discuss certain rules on grammar-based questions as far as the CMAT exam is concerned. So are we good to go? Can we set the ball rolling? I'm doing well, Yogita. I hope you are doing well as well and preparing hard for the exams. CMAT is one exam which we can't afford to miss, and all those who have had, not so happy experience with CAT, CMAT is one exam that can be a goal changer, and there are so many good colleges available under CMAT. So if you can work a little harder, uh, just try to score well in this exam. I believe that you're going to get some of the best colleges we have under CMAT in India. So we are going to talk about the grammar questions today. There are quite a few varieties in the VRC section of CMAT, but today in this series we have chosen to discuss a few grammar questions and some of the rules based on grammar. Okay, the questions are not going to be very tough. They're fundamentally on the easier side, and if you just have some of the grammar rules and techniques up your sleeve, you will be able to solve these questions hands down. All right. So, without wasting any more time, let us talk about what is the agenda for the day and what are we going to cover in this session today with you all. So, this is the agenda as you can see. We will discuss questions based on finding the substitute. This is one very important area of grammar. Then we talk about certain words and phrases and their possible meanings. So we are going to touch base, some of the questions on synonyms and antonyms and all. Then we will have FIB questions or preposition questions based on, just wait for a second. I think I have lost you people on my, yeah, here you go. I lost you all for a good 2 to 3 seconds. So, coming back to the agenda, we will cover a few questions based on fill in the blanks, particularly based on prepositions and prepositional phrases. Just a second, let me plug in my charger. Okay. Also, we are going to talk about, sentence arrangement questions, grammatically correct sentences, idioms and phrases and all. All right. Okay. Give me a second. Let me just plug in my charger. I think I have missed out. All right. Tejasvi. Hello, Tejasvi. Sentence arrangement questions and grammatically correct sentences. So these are some of the questions which we are going to discuss in the session today. All right. So let us start with the very first question today. This is the question, as you can see on your screen up there. From the options given below, find the closest substitute for the underlined expression. Now, these questions are quite tricky, right? So, it requires a good knowledge of vocabulary, it requires a good knowledge of words, it requires a good knowledge of phrases. So, that is why it is important to understand some of the words and the expressions and their possible meanings. All right. So here is the question. Madhu, we will talk about the attempts in the section very shortly. We will talk about this, the attempts and everything. It all depends how many questions you're getting right and how many questions, by looking at the question set at that point of time, how many questions make you feel good. All right. So these are some of the questions which have been curated from the past CMAT questions. Most of the questions probably you might have seen and worked out. Like this question talks about, he secured a good job in the films because he was good at producing voice sounds. Now, what does voice sound mean to you? What does voice sound mean to you? A stands for monoacting, B stands for mimicry, C stands for ventriloquism, and D stands for caricature. Now, if you look at the options very carefully, the first one talks about monoacting, a theater or a drama set where we require just one actor. Mono means one. Mono means one. We just require one actor and he plays, he runs the entire show and he's the only actor present. Okay. Kush, we are expecting the exam to take place in April. The dates, as you can check it out on the website, it says it is 17th, but it is subject to change. It is subject to change, and we expect the exam to happen in two slots, one in the morning slot and one in the afternoon slot. Okay, so that is the information we have as of now. Okay, so let's sit tight and wait for the final dates to come out. So monoacting means one, mimicry, when you imitate a person and you try to mimic him or imitate him in order to produce laughter. Ventriloquism. Now this word LOQ, it means to talk or to speak. This is the root. LOQ is the root for to talk or to speak. Okay. Okay, I stand corrected. 9th April, I think it is. Is it out? Is this, are the dates out? Okay. So 9th April it is. So that is the D-Day for all of you. So tighten your seat belts. Okay. Kush is also typing. It's 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right. So even the time slots are out, right? So just we will reconfirm it. And please interact with our experts, who will actually tell you about the dates and the times and the nitty-gritties of CMAT. Okay. So, ventriloquism actually means it is the art of speaking without moving your lips. Now, this is an art. Now, let's suppose there are two guys standing side by side, and one of them is speaking, but the lips aren't moving. It's sheer talent and sheer skill. Okay, so that is ventriloquism. So over here, the answer should have been C. This was the word. Ventriloquism means to be good at producing sounds. So this is one question based on right kind of words and expressions and their correct meaning. Let us move on to the next question. This question asks you a different problem altogether. The word and its definition is given, followed by 4 sentences. Choose the option that best fits with the definition. Choose the option that best fits with the definition. This is what the question says. Okay, the word is maneuvering. A says a family is making plans for the daughter's wedding. B says a manager making his way to the top. C says a captain giving order to his soldiers. And D says a child planning to stay away from school. So most of you have already answered the question. Pranita says B, Kashish says B. What is the meaning of caricature? Caricature actually means when you play, some role here and there, in order to entertain people. Okay, Charlie Chaplin, for example, he was a master of caricature. Okay, so a clownish kind of acting is caricature over here. All right. The word is maneuver. So what is maneuver? Anyone? Okay. To handle something with skill. Maneuver, it can be a kind of movement. It can be, about handling something with skill. Handling something with skill is maneuvering, right? So maneuver is a verb. A says a family is making plan for the daughter's wedding. It does not fall under the category of maneuver. B says a manager making his way to the top. It also does not mean maneuver. C says a captain giving order to his soldier. A child planning to stay away from school. So out of these 4 options, B actually tops the bill. It says a manager making his way to the top. So a manager needs to follow some skill sets that actually tells you, all right, okay. So I think this question we were through with, and the answer was a manager making his way to the top. A manager has to work very hard. He does not only work hard, he works hard tactfully with skills, and that actually guarantees his success. So, the perfect example would be a manager making his way to the top. That is maneuvering. And the answer option is B, as most of you have rightly guessed. Moving on to the next question, and this question is based on prepositions. Okay, another very easy question, but I know that most of you will be able to answer this question. In prepositions, let me tell you, please work on idioms. Okay, work on phrasal verbs becomes very important. Okay, and there are ideas I keep on telling you, and again, don't, it might sound like a cliche to you, but I can't help telling you this once again. Adjective plus preposition combination, verb plus preposition combination, right? Try to work on the combos. Okay, the errors will be either based on fill in the blanks, or it will be based on spotting the error questions, where Either they will use the wrong preposition and you have to guess the right answer, or you may have to use the right kind of preposition to fill in the blanks. As we have actually seen this question, a plane flies dash the cloud. Now imagine there is a plane, it is flying. So what will a plane do? Will it fly in the clouds? Will it fly above the clouds? Will it fly along the cloud? Will it fly with the cloud? Before you answer this question, before you answer this question, let us understand what a preposition does. We know there are so many prepositions. Now let's say, let me draw something for you. My drawing is very bad, so please stay with me. Let's say this is a cat, and the cat is sitting on something. This is cat, and let's say this is mat. So can we try to establish a relationship between these two, cat and mat, without writing a sentence? Very much we can do. Looking at the position of the cat and the mat, can we safely say that the cat is on the mat? And this is exactly what a preposition does. It actually establishes a relationship between the subject and the object. Okay? And mat is an object. Why? Because it comes right after the preposition. So you have to see what we are talking about. Can you visualize? A plane will not fly in the clouds. A plane will try to fly above the clouds, and that is why B should have been the right answer. Alright, a plane flies above the clouds, not along the cloud. Along means together. Okay, like two parallel lines run along. With shows association, so there is no association over here. Okay, in shows the position of rest inside something. The position of rest inside something, that is in. So the best preposition over here should be above. Alright, so that answers the question. There is a similar question based on preposition, and you can see it in the next question. What does it talk about? From the option given below, fill in the blank with the words or phrases that most appropriately completes the following sentence. Let's read the question. The Supreme Court dashed the decree of the lower court. Okay, so let us understand over here, decree means an order. It may also mean a law. So you have around 4 sets. A says set by, B says set against, C says set aside, and D is set over. So what should be the right answer in this case? We will start talking exactly 10 seconds from now. How many of you are still with me? Quite a few might have left because of this technical glitch, I understand. Okay, so what should be the answer? The Supreme Court dashed the decree of the lower court. Now, over here, we are talking about two courts, and the tussle is visible. The Supreme Court and the lower court. And you have 4 options: set by, set against, set aside, and set over. All right. Now, what will the Supreme Court do? Right? Suppose there are quite a few verdicts given by the lower court or the high court. There are many judgments passed by the high court or the lower court. And the Supreme Court has the authority to either stick by the verdict given by the lower court, or the Supreme Court can think, in its own fine sense of judgment, to actually challenge it, to make it invalid. So the word is invalidate. So either the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, will invalidate or challenge the sentence of the lower court, or it will just to nullify something, to invalidate something. That is the idea. The first one is set by. Pranita has answered D. Okay. I think Madhur, you have also answered the question. You have said C. All right. Okay. So what is set by, guys? What is set by? Right? Set by Pranita. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. Set by means to save something for the future. To save for the future. That is set by. Set against. Can I use one more idiom to bring home the meaning? To pitch against. Okay. To put somebody against somebody, in conflict. In conflict. Okay. Ukraine has been set against Russia. So how is that for a change? This can be used in a sentence. That is set against. Okay. Set aside and set over. Right? What is set aside? Set aside also means to save or to keep something safe for the future. But in the terms of law, it actually means to nullify. Okay? To invalidate. Sheetal has answered it is C. Yes. Okay. To declare, a legal decision, to declare a legal decision invalid. That is set aside. Okay. So over here, set aside is very close, but what is set over? Set over means to place something, to place or rest something on the top of something. To place or rest something on the top of something, that is set over. But in this case, you know what the answer is? It is C. Alright? Most of you have got it right. So set aside should have been the right option. So please work on prepositions. Okay? Don't keep it for last minute, preparation. Try to work on prepositions, and I'm telling you, 3 to 4 good sentences you will find the questions which are going to be based on prepositions. And if you get those 4 to 5 questions or 3 to 4 questions right, look where the percentile will go. Okay, 3 correct sentence, 4 correct sentence, they mean a lot. Okay, they are add-ons to your net percentile. So please try to work on prepositions. Words followed by prepositions, idioms and phrases, wrong prepositions, all these things should be practiced thoroughly. All right? Okay. These are legal terms, Sheetal, so no wonder you have found them in a newspaper. And this is exactly one of the blessings of reading newspapers. You come across so many good terms. You come across so many fine terms, and you can use them while writing and speaking. And most importantly, regular reading of the newspaper actually helps you to keep these words and phrases and those construction of sentences in mind for a long time. Right? You see the application of it. All right? So that was question number 4 for us. Moving on to the next question. So, from the construct, you can see that we are talking about a substitution kind of a question, or one word substitution. Find the closest substitute for the underlined expression. Okay, find the closest substitute. And what is the question? It is not surprising for a teenager who stays from school without a good reason. You get the hint over here. Who stays from school without a good reason to invent fantastic tales to escape punishment. Alright. The first word is delinquent. The second word is lazy, a second expression, it is not a word, lazy teen. The third one is truant, and D is idler. Which one do you think fits the bill over here? Sheetal has keyed in her meaning of truant, right? A child who stays away from school without reason or without good reason. So एक बच्चा जो स्कूल से दूर रहता है और उसके पास कोई रीजन नहीं है. If this is what truant means, and you are absolutely right when you say this, truant, so this should be the right answer. Okay, truant. So sorry. Okay, so it is the answer. Truant is the word used for a child or a teenager who stays away from school without, a logical reason or cause. Delinquent means, someone young involved in a crime or, an illegal activity. Delinquent, right? It can be, the term can be used for a young criminal, okay? A juvenile delinquent, a young criminal. Lazy teen, somebody who is lazy, right? Idler, one who loves to waste time, one who wastes or squanders time. Okay? One who wastes or squanders time, that is idler. So one word substitution is very important. So you had antonym, synonym to deal with. You had fill in the blanks to deal with. Now you have one more area to deal with. That is one word substitution. Please pick up any good book and go through as many, one word substitutions as possible. Please work on phobias. Work on manias, work on crassy like autocracy, democracy, aristocracy. Work on these crassies and manias and phobias in order to, start your journey on a firm footing as far as, these one word substitutions are concerned. Sheetal says lawless, yes. So I think this was in reference to the word delinquent, Sheetal, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Lawless, somebody who does not follow the law, somebody who refutes the law. Yes, absolutely right. Okay. Idler, one who wastes or squanders time. So one word substitution must be practiced, absolutely religiously, apart from synonym, antonym, and FIV questions. That was question number 5 for us, guys. Can we move on to the next category? Again, you see we have a question on idioms and phrases. Okay, and you have to guess the meaning of like a spy. What does it mean? Like a spy. Spy means a detective or a sleuth. Okay, that's a spy. So like a spy. A is cloak and dagger, B is 40 wings, C is the alpha and the omega, and D is lay bare. What is the word? Sheetal is the first one to answer again. She says A. Okay, she has keyed in option A. What about the others? Cloak and dagger, 40 wings, the alpha and the omega lay bare. Okay. Cloak and dagger is correct. Okay. Let's start with D. First of all, let us see the answer and then we'll talk about the other meanings of the idioms, the other idioms and their meaning. The right answer option is A, cloak and dagger. Okay, cloak and dagger, right? It means involved in mystery. Okay, something which is clandestine. Okay, mystery, full of mystery, involved in mystery. So when you talk about mystery, when you talk about something being clandestine, So the very word spy comes to the mind. So cloak and dagger is the right option. 40 wings. When you take a nap. 40 wings. When you take a nap, it's a short sleep. Okay, it's a short sleep. That is 40 wings. Sheetal says D means to disclose secret. Absolutely right, Sheetal. Lay bare. It means to reveal. The word, gives it away. It means lay bare, to reveal, to expose, to bring out a secret. Okay, the truth was finally laid bare. You can use the word like this. This can be used in a sentence like this. The truth was finally laid bare. The Alpha and the Omega. Alpha is the first, Omega is the last. So from the beginning to the end. From the beginning to the end. This is what it means, the Alpha and the Omega. Okay, so some of the idioms are less heard of. Always try to figure out when you come across words, when you see words, when you see phrases, when you see idioms, okay, they can be broadly categorized under, you know, HFE, that is high frequency expressions, and LFE. Okay, I always do it like this: high frequency expressions and low frequency expressions. If they are low frequency expressions, they are not actually, they are not heard of frequently. High frequency expressions, which are very popular, and you have grown up listening to them or using them, either in the way of writing or in the way of speaking. But any expression which is low, which has low frequency, those expressions must be read and put under this category. All right. So all these exams, they are going to ask you questions which, some of the expressions which we may not have heard of, but they are present in the book. They are there in the book. So when you advance your reading, when you keep reading, right, you come across these low frequency expressions, and one fine day, you become adept. You become smart enough to use them. All right. Okay. So this was question number 6 for us. Let's go and look at this question. Okay. Nothing very serious. One sentence has been, put in parts. There are 10 odd parts, right, including the punctuation marks. And what they have asked you to do, they are asking you to choose the option that represents the correct arrangement of the following words to form a meaningful sentence. Please don't forget to like the session and subscribe to our channel, and please share it with your friends so that they also stand benefited, with our sessions, from our sessions. Don't forget to do so. We need your support. All right. So here we go. 1, developing. 2 says Nina enters and apologizes. 3 says as. 4 has a comma. 5 is. 6 later. 7 her self portraits. 8 she. 9 in her dark room. And 10 for running away. क्या होना चाहिए आंसर? Okay. Most of you have keyed in, or you have already started keying in B, B, all right. Okay. Okay, so let us see how B is going to formulate. Let us now understand. Okay, so most of you have said B, so let us see. If it is B, 2, 10, 3, 8. So 2, Nina enters and apologizes. Let me write it down. Nina enters and apologizes. Nina enters and apologizes for running away. All right, for running away. As she, all right, so 8 is she, 7, 1. As she, 3, 8, 7. 7 says, as she, her self portraits. Now let's stop over here, right? Does this part make sense to you? I'm talking to all those who have marked B as your option. I think I have got the flow correct. 2 was Nina enters and apologizes. Yes. 10 was for running away. Now this is absolutely fantastic. For running away. 3 says as. Okay. 8 says she. All right. 7 says her self-portrait. As she, her self-portrait. Does it make sense? A quick yes or a no? Y for a yes and N for a no. Can we have a yes or a no quickly? So this will give us a fair idea whether B should be the answer or not. A quick yes or a no? All right. How about this? If I say, now you can always begin like this, later. Okay, it's an adverb. You can start a sentence like this. Later, comma, and since we are using an adverb, so the punctuation goes with the adverb. Okay, later, let's talk about for. Done. As she is developing her self-portraits. Okay, developing her self-portraits in her dark. Okay, where would she do it? In her dark room. In her dark room. Then what happens? Nina enters. Nina enters and apologizes for. Now this is a very strong connect. Apologizes for what? Running away. Now we have two different individuals over here. We start with an adverb of time. So the positioning of the parts of speech. When you talk about the parts of speech, POS, okay, you talk about the noun, the pronoun, the verb, the adjectives, the adverbs, the prepositions, conjunctions, and the interjections. It is important to understand their positioning. All right. It is the positioning that matters. There is something called, the royal order of adverbs, the royal order of adjectives. How to put them? So how do we begin? We begin like this. Later, adverb of time. As she is developing her self-portraits. Okay, this tells you what she was doing. Where? Self-portraits in a dark room. Nina enters subject verb and apologizes. Apologizes takes a certain preposition for what? Running away. So what follows what, and what should come after a certain part of speech, and what should come before a certain part of speech, that must be practiced. All right. So this was one clear example of parts of speech and their positioning. So what is the answer? The answer is A, my friends. Okay. It was a very smartly curated question. Not very tough at all. Okay. It just needed your focus. We lose focus, we lose everything. Okay. So A was the answer. Moving on to our next question. Right? So all this while we have seen so many questions based on idioms and phrasal verbs and words, so on and so forth. Last two questions are grammar based. The previous question was entirely different. It had a different structure altogether. This question will test another very important concept of grammar. From among the given options, pick the one which is correct. Okay, what should be the answer? Alright, select the grammatically correct sentence from the following. Although he failed in that mathematics, but he received a degree in engineering. B says, although he had failed in mathematics, he received a degree in engineering. C says, although that he failed in mathematics, but he received a degree in engineering. And D says, although he had failed in mathematics, that he received a degree in engineering. This is a very straightforward question. You don't have to think much. What is the option? Okay. Many of you have already marked B to be the right option. Pranita, Tejasvi, Anadu, Sweetie, they all have marked. You all have marked B. Okay. And the others? All right. So if you look at the question, the concept is based on although should be followed by what? Although, and which part of speech is although? It's a conjunction. So although is either, it either, takes this punctuation, a comma, okay, or we use yet with although. Okay. B says, although he had failed in mathematics, he received a degree in engineering. Okay. This is an older action, so past perfect tense is okay. He received a degree in engineering, although, shows a contrast. It actually shows the exception that has taken. Although I ran fast, I missed the train, which means I was not supposed to miss the train because I ran fast. So this, a sense of contradiction or this sense of, exception is created by although. It's a very important conjunction. So although he had failed in mathematics, he received a degree in engineering. Sounds great to me, sounds fine to me. A says, although he failed in that mathematics. Now, this does not make any sense. This is illogical. Why that mathematics? Okay. So A is gone. C says, although that he failed. Now look at this faulty construction over here. Although that he failed. You're bringing in that between a subject verb, construct and although, right? This is a faulty construction, right? Ungrammatical totally. So even this is out. D says, although he had failed in mathematics, that he received a degree in engineering would have been right had there been no that. Okay, the presence of that makes the sentence faulty. Okay, and that is why we will stick to B, and this is the right answer option. So what did we see today? We talked about idioms, we talked about phrasal verbs, we talked about prepositions, we talked about substitutions, and we also talked about some grammar questions. Okay, in the upcoming series we are going to discuss many different question types from other areas of English. We'll talk a lot about vocabulary, we'll talk a lot about parajumble questions. That is one of the most important areas. We'll also talk about certain RC and reading comprehension based questions. All right. So these were some of the questions and the concepts which I thought I should discuss with you. And this was it. And we are starting our last lap to CMAT. Another very interesting session coming up. It is going to be a series. You are going to get complete revision of CMAT. Whatever needs to be covered will be covered in this series. 14th of March is when we are starting, and we go live on YT YouTube exactly at 7 p.m. All right. To know more, you can talk to our counselors, and they'll give you all the details. Don't miss it. Please attend the session to avail the benefits. All right. Okay. And please like and subscribe the session, my friends. Enroll yourself for the CAT, PI and WAT program, being mentored by, our two stalwarts, Srinivas sir and Gautam sir. You can enroll in this program and be benefited. For queries, please call on the given number. Also, we have started our batch 5 for CAT 22 preparation. The enrollments are going on, and our eminent faculty, Mr. Vikas Dahiya, Saral sir and Sanojam sir are taking the batches. Please don't forget to enroll yourself, just in case your friends are looking for enrollment with us. Do let them know about us so that they can also enroll themselves and avail the classes. Last but not the least, like our session, comment on the videos that you see, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep. And also press the bell notification to keep yourself updated for all the new videos that we come up with. Okay, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, a very important channel today. We have thousands of people joining us every day, and we discuss so many things on that channel. You can talk to me personally over there, right? And please download the app from Google Play. So that's all from my side. This is your mentor Pradip Sengupta signing off for today. See you in the next class. Have a good day. Bye-bye.